blanket on the car. Make sure you don't scratch it up. First thing you want to do is remove this cover right here. Now to remove this cover, you gotta take up the oil fill tube. Just pull it off to the side. And just so you don't get no stuff in here, just put this back in place. And here's our alternator here. I'm gonna show you a little trick. This alternator has been replaced before. I'm gonna show you a little trick because a lot of times I try to avoid it all causes to try and not want to disconnect the battery because you might lose people's radio. Some cars got the alarm system, the car won't start. So I'm gonna show you a little trick what I do. I got a little electrical tape right there. What you want to do, this right here, pull this wire off, and we're gonna take this off, and then we're gonna put tape around it so it don't touch up against anything. So that's like about a 13 millimeter. Let's go get our 13 millimeter and take that off. Right back. All right, got our air ratchet with a 13 millimeter socket on it. Make sure you don't touch nothing metal when you're doing this. Pop it up just like that. Take this off. Now I'm gonna set the camera up so I can choose two hands to do what I'm about to do. All right, I'm gonna put the bolt right up here for now. All right, let's set our camera up over here. Let me show you what I'm about to do. Take my electrical tape, open this up, take the wire off, bring the cover back up, and just wrap it with some tape. And down here, just a little bit. It ain't gotta be a lot, just a little bit. There you go. That's off. The next thing we're going to do, we got a little expansion tank or overflow bottle right here. We got two 10 millimeter bolts to get this out. Actually, two 10 millimeter nuts right here. This one is not a 10, so it must be an 11. Alright, this one's 11. Let's get that out. Alright, don't have to drain nothing. Pick it up, pull it out of the way, lean to the side. Put our nuts back up here. So we know exactly where they go. Alright, the next thing we're gonna do is let's take off that belt, get that belt out of the way. Now we look down here and the tension is way down there. You see that? And there's a little a hole right there to make the adjustment. And that's like a regular ratchet, a 3/8 drive ratchet you can use to do that. And so let me get my ratchet and I'll be right back. Alright, got my 3/8 drive ratchet. I got a swivel. Now, you don't have to use a swivel, just use a ratchet. And you want to do is reach down there, put that ratchet in just like that, and then it's on tightening. So as you tighten, watch the tension of that belt. That belt come up, and you want to do that. You're going to use two hands, and when I do this, I'm going to take the belt off of the alternator and I'm gonna leave my ratchet down there. So let's see if we can get a good look at this. Alright, so I'm gonna bring this up. Get our belt off the alternator, let our tension it back down, and I'm gonna leave it just like that. Alright, we're looking good, we're just about there. Alright, Now we're gonna get ready to unbolt the alternator. We got a plug on this alternator, but once we get this alternator up out of there, then we're gonna be okay and get it. All right, now let me see if I can show you where this bolt at. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is get a mirror to show you better, because there's an actual bolt right behind here, right here. So we're gonna get that, and we got the other bolt right there. All right, we'll be right back. All right, I got my little flashlight back there. I'm gonna try to use the mirror to show you guys what I'm doing here. If you look in the mirror right there, you see a bolt, 10mm nut. I'm trying to get a better angle right there. 10mm nut to take off that little line, move that line out the way. And then there's like a 15mm bolt. And that 15mm bolt we just gotta loosen up. Alright, so we gotta get that too. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do that. Then there's a bolt that we gotta take out right here in the front. Let's see if we can get an angle right there. You can see it right in the mirror, hopefully. Dang it. Maybe you can see it. Alright, so let's get the hardest one first. 10mm in the back. And I can feel it. Just follow this line right here, and you'll be able to feel it right there. And for that, what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can get see if I use a universal, a 10 universal, and an extension. Right back. Alright, so that 10mm nut back there, let's get you set up right here. Show you what we're going to do here. Okay, what I got is a 10mm deep with me a stubby ratchet. And I'm using my left hand to feel for where it's at. And once I can get it on there, okay, got that loose. I want to take that off. Alright, there it is. And 10mm looked like it was kind of loose. It did, so I'm wondering if it's a 3/8. No, it's a 10. So let's put that to the side. Now we can take our line, a little bracket up there. Take it off of there. Okay. Let me show you what we did over here, down here. You're gonna have that little bracket right there. See that little bracket? That little bracket's going on that bolt. And then we can pop that off. Now we can swing that to the side. And now we got that other bolt, and that's going to be a deep also. So let's find out what size that is. Right back. All right, get yourself a 15mm deep. Gonna put it on our ratchet, and we're gonna try to go around there. There we go. Loosen that bolt right up. You ain't gotta take that bolt out. Just loosen it up, because the alternator has a slot on it. Now we got the one right around here. See if I can reach it with that. And heck no, I can't. So what I might do with that is, I got me a 15mm swivel. With a 4-inch extension. Let's see if I can get it like that. If I get the 15, I'll be all right. All right, get that 15 in there. All right, I got it in there. Now, probably was better off using a wrench or something to come out there and try to get that, because this is not going to fit. It is just too much at an angle. Okay, you better get it. Let's see if it's loose enough to get that bolt out of there. No, not yet. All right. You know, these things had a little bit more room, man. You know what I'm gonna do? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna loosen up this alternator a little bit more, because the only bolt we got left is this one right here. Let's see what size that is. Is that a 15 also? All right, yeah, it is. So let's get that bolt out of there so we can get that alternator loose. Maybe we can get that other bolt in the back a little bit better. All right, there we go. So let's get that bolt out and be right back. All right, got that bolt out right there. Just hang that in there. And what I'm gonna do is take a 15mm shallow with my stubby ratchet. I'm gonna go back here and I want to make. I got a lot of room. I can loosen this up, but I want to make sure I don't go too much. I'm gonna hit that firewall, and I ain't gonna really take that ratchet out of there. Get that bolt out, man. Back there, man. It's almost up there. Almost got stuck right there. Just tighten that up a little bit. Okay, can't do that no more. I'm at its edge. Luckily, I think the bolt's just about out. Okay, there it is. Hitting it right against the wall right there. Let's get this bolt out. We gotta get us a pry bar. Okay, never mind, it's coming out. We gotta twist this alternator. You know, that other bolt is gonna have to come out. You know, the one that we loosened up way back here? Because it's supposed to slide forward. But it ain't gonna do that. So I'm gonna go back here and that bolt in the back, I'm going to take that out completely. Let's get our 15mm back over here again. Alright, turn it by hand. Let me get that out. Bear back. Alright, reach back here. Pull this bolt right out here. Set this up. Now let's see if we can twist the alternator. Alternator out, just like that. Now, see, we turn it to the side now. We got the plug right there. So let's get this plug off of here. Looks like somebody broke this plug off of it. So I don't even know if that thing was even on and in a connection. Somebody broke it. There must be a tab there, but it was broken. Let me get this alternator up out of here, man. Okay. There we go. We got our bolt still in it. And this plug right here, yeah, that's all messed up. Somebody messed that plug up. So I keep hitting this air ratchet. offset. Now, that could be a little issue right there, because if that thing unplugs, this alternator just ain't gonna work. I'm gonna let the customer know about that, because I ain't liking that at all. That's gonna need a new pigtail. Huh. And it's really funny, I saw a video online and the guy said he broke his too. And this little blue tab is supposed to come out. So that's supposed to be out. Alright, let's get this new alternator in here. Right back. Alright, here we go. We got both alternators. And we're going to be looking up on the alternator pigtail. Let's let the customer know about that. That could have been a problem if it ain't plugged up. Okay, first thing we'll do is take out our old bolt over here. Stick it in there. Got wire cutters. Cut that little thing right there. Got a Duralast alternator. Let's put this in the box now. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Now, I'm going to set this alternator back in there. I'm going to try to make sure, see if I can get that, make sure that plug stays connected. Alright, so let's get our alternator with our bolt in it. Bring it down, plug it up. Okay. Now let's get our alternator set over here. Great, lined right up. Okay, our bolt in the back, the big one, that's lining up. Let's get our big bolt. Set it up like that. Now get our short bolt that goes in the back here and start that off by hand. Alright, that's good. Now while we got this one out here, let's bring that bolt in some. Not all the way tight, let's bring it in some. Alright. Next we're going to do is by hand, we're going to go back there, and those the two bolts in the back, bring them in by as much as you can by hand so we ain't got to use the ratchet that much. And we can get the socket on there. Alright, let's do that, we'll be back. Alright, got them down by hand. Now, over here I'm going to take my stubby little ratchet, my 15mm socket, and reach back here to the first one. I'm going to tighten that one up, bring that one all the way down, and tighten it up. Alright, it's still loose some, so let's get that tightened up, and then we'll go to the back one. Right back. Now for the one in the back, same stubby ratchet, and we got our 15mm deep. And what we're gonna do here is go over here, get it onto that bolt. Okay, now we're gonna tighten that one up. Probably use a longer ratchet. I like this one since it needs to get in these tight spots. Alright, let's tighten it up and we'll be right back. Alright, got that one tightened up. Now for the last bolt, 15mm. Bolt right here in the front. Tighten it up. Alright, let's get ready to put our belt on. Right back. Alright, here we go. Before we put the belt on, what I'm going to do is go over here. Let's take off our Take off our nut right here for the back of the alternator. And now, take off our tape and put that on. While we do that, let me set the camera up here. Alright. Get our tape off over here. We don't need that no more. Okay. So that way it saves all radio information, preset stations and everything. Don't touch the alarm system, nothing. Everything is still intact. Alright, let's get that tightened up. 13 millimeter. And that bolt is don't go super tight or you'll mess up that regulator. Good. Bring our protective boot back up. Now, we'll put our ratchet down there for our belt. Ratchet still in place. Make sure our belt is still on and everything. And we're gonna get this belt on. Make sure everything is lined up. Belt just popped off the tensioner here, the idler pulley. I want to make sure that this belt is definitely on all those teeth. Again. There we go. There we go. Let's take it out. I'm a little bit off over here. As you can see on that pulley, it's a little bit off. Let me show you. Now it'll probably spin back on. You see I was a little off right there. Now it'll probably, when I start it up, it'll spin back on, but we're taking no chances. So put my ratchet back down there again. In fact, I might just use the regular ratchet. Just push that on just a little bit. There we go. Alright, we're good to go. Now, over here, stupid people, man. Fire truck coming out of the street and they blocking them. Alright, we got this little tab right here, this little hook. That's what that bottle, the expansion tank's gonna hook onto. Let's take off our two nuts over here. Bring this over. It's going to go down and hook onto that. Okay, and we go over on two nuts. And that's going to tighten them up. Those are 7/16, 11 millimeter. So let's tighten that up, then we're going to put that bracket on for that line in the back, right back. Alright, we got that. Now we're going to hook up that bracket. Now if you don't hook up that bracket, see what happens when this car runs? Watch what's happening. Look what's going to happen. It's going to rattle around. So let's reach back there. And put that, get that snapped onto there. And let me see if I can see if you can see it from another angle over here. As you can see, it's right down there. right there. Matter of fact, I can unplug this alternator. And now you can see even better. Right there. See it? Got that bracket on. So we're going to get our 10mm nut that goes on top of that. Which is right here. Now this little bolt right here that goes to the old alternator. I'll reach back here. Put that on. You want to make sure that's on if you take your car to a shop, because they'll leave that thing off. They will leave it off. There we go. You see it on? Now let's tighten that up. We'll be right back. Alright. Got the alternator plug back up. Got that bracket bolted up. Everything's tight up here. Next thing we do, let's take off the oil filler cap. Get our cover and put it back on. Now you see this got little spots right there. Bolts right there. I gotta line up with spots on the car. One right here and the other one. You can see the other one. So we're gonna put that on there. Like that. Get the oil for the cap. Put it into place. There we go. Now we're gonna jump the vehicle, get it started, and check charging. Be right back. Alright, we just got it started, jumping from the truck. Now we're gonna check the alternator. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna disconnect jumping cables. Now, battery voltage is 12 volts. When the alternator is putting out charging, you get about 13.5 volts. And if the battery's dead, the alternator can put up as much as 15 volts until it charges, until it senses that the battery is charged, and then it'll start lowering it down. So we got a little multimeter here. And this way. Alright. So get these things situated where it sticks in, get it stuck in there some kind of way. Okay. Alright, now you can see, this is what I'm talking about. Right now the alternator is putting out 14.4 volts because the alternator knows, hey, this battery is dead. So it's going to keep on putting out that many volts. And if I keep it here for a while, you're going to see it start to drop down. As you see just then, it dropped down to 2, 1, it's starting to drop down slowly while the alternator is charging the battery up. Alright, so we know it's good, everything's good.